Filming in public, dickhead. Filming in public.
Well, what's your problem? You're filming in public. Weirdo. Hi folks. I've got 10,000 followers, which is great. Normally I don't ask, but if you're listening, whack on the old follow and make a comment or whatever. I never normally ask. To be honest, I couldn't care less if you do or don't. Maybe I should. Maybe I'd get more followers if I did that. But I'm not that bothered. Anyway, I just thought I'd chat about this bloke who... it was very odd on Saturday. He seemed to follow... I was going to say followed us, but I think he was following NewsNow Yorkshire around town. Now, first of all, I've no problems with people filming. It's a public place. I'd be a hypocrite to complain. You're free to film, and for those who don't know, you don't need permission. Some people have got in their heads you need permission. That is if it applies to, say, a private place. Normally you'd get actually a written one just to back yourself up. So if it's private, and by private I'd argue your house, that's usually classed as private. Maybe like a pop concert, I'd argue probably could be classed as legal as private, even though it's got public going in. You need a ticket and so on. Public is the safe one is, generally speaking, outside in the public. You don't need permission. And things like, I think, I might be wrong, you need to check it out, things like shops, because they're open to the public. You don't need a ticket to come in and out. And that's why they've got, they can put CCTV up legally, I'd argue. I think that's the legal reason, because it's classed as public. I say this because often we do get people who, they invent the law, they make things up, and the problem is, there was a time people weren't sure, but now most police, I think, are fully aware of the law. Because I remember ages ago filming a protest, and this policeman pulled me to one side because he gave me, you can't sell the picture or something, which I checked I could. Funnily enough, they put me, it was a protest to complain, but I got a better view from where the policeman pulled me to. I was a bit annoyed because he actually dragged me, this policeman, but anyway. He only did what he thought was right. Now I'd know anyway. I wasn't sure back then. But a lot of police websites actually do have it as a statement that public filming's fine. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that because I'm not here to stop anyone filming. Now, this guy, the reason I'm saying this is because it was quite odd. He could have come up and explained himself. I don't know what he was up to. Because I don't think it was part of the protest. I don't want to, blame anyone on the protest. It could have been, but when we first saw him, he appeared to be filming NewsNow Yorkshire outside Decathlon. I think that's the name. It's a bike sports shop in town near the train station. And it was stood filming him. And then we noticed him because a few people just got him. He's clearly tried to stay out the way. But as with these things, the camera does pick people up. And a few people have filmed him and said, he was acting strange. The next time I saw him on the camera was further on the other side of Leeds, where they were looking at some footage because there was a possible assault, but I don't think anything came of it. But then, later on, once the protest had ended, this is where things got strange. Now, I don't know if he'll use the footage or not, but there was a bit of a doodah in Leeds city centre. We was walking to the Tesco. There's a Tesco in Leeds city centre. I think there's two, probably more these days. There's all these little ones everywhere. But we were walking to it, and then a police van went past doing the old woo-woos. And I said to NewsNow Yorkshire, look, if you want to go film, see what's going on, follow him down, don't worry about me. So he shoots off. on his bike, and I'm walking, well, I'm not running, jogging slightly, and past me this bloke again passes me and pulls his camera phone out. I presume they were just not, somebody either filming for his own entertainment, or as a YouTuber or a TikTok or whatever. Everyone films these days, don't they, folks? So I thought nothing of it. So I catch up. I'm stood behind and I see him filming. And again, I thought it was filming this arrest, what was going on. But it looks again like he's filming NewsNow Yorkshire. But I never thought anything of it. I noticed him stood there. So then he says, oh, we'll just nip for a sandwich. He wanted a sandwich from Tesco. So he walks up. And as we stood there, this bloke comes up and he says something. It wasn't offensive, I don't think. I think it was something on the lines of, I've got you or something, grinning. I presumed it was just a fan, but it was just the way he did it was weird. And he walks off. But then, a few minutes later, I had my phone in my hand. I didn't film that one. Literally a few minutes. He comes back again. This is what was weird. He suddenly appears again. And then films him again. Now, because I had my phone in my hand, I literally just pressed record. And that's the footage, you see, that moment where he says, filming in public. So, it was weird. Then, I don't think he wanted to be filmed. Because he ran off thinking I hadn't filmed him. But unfortunate for him, if you're going to play these games trying to intimidate, because I'd argue that's intimidation, I'm going to film you, mate. Or someone is. Don't think people, because everyone's filmed him. Some have got his face really clear on his footage, and they've all said it's weird. Now, again, I don't mind people filming me. Can't complain. But the thing I don't do, and again, it's up to you how you do things. I'm not telling you how to do things. You'll notice when I film the protests, I'm filming a public event. That's usually what I'm doing. I'm usually filming public events. Once that event ends, that's it. I don't film the public unless they come up to me and start chatting and give me grief. Then it becomes public again. A public, to me that's something to record as evidence or whatever, because you never know, they might start or something. But I don't then, that's the difference. I don't follow people because, hang on, just wait for people to cycle past. That's what I'd argue is the strange thing. Now, I'm not going to tell somebody else how to film. Not my place, if that's how they want to film. Maybe he's doing a YouTube channel or something. And I have seen people do that. They've got nothing else, imagination. So what they try and do is they try and get views by just talking about popular YouTubers. So maybe that's what he's doing. He was talking about NewsNow Yorkshire, hoping to get some of his views by saying, I filmed NewsNow Yorkshire, blah, blah, blah. And I've seen people do this. It's up to them. It just seems a weak way of getting views. Seems rather pathetic. Do your own thing. Don't try and jump on, piggyback other people's views. Work along. I mean, he could have come along and filmed alongside him if he wanted to and chatted. That'd have been, something. People do with that. They do it with me. A lot of people are better filming than me, and I don't mind that. It's good when they do better than me, and I try and give people advice. Maybe I'll do a vid one day giving out some advice to people and what I've learnt. I mean, I'm no expert. I mean, take it a pinch of salt what I know. It's not much. I mean, you're probably better off ignoring everything I say anyway. But I just thought I'd bring it up because if he's got a problem with NewsNow Yorkshire, myself, anyone, isn't it better he just comes up and chats rather than does this weird sneaky thing? Because honestly, it just makes him look rather odd. I mean, he could have been part of... I don't think he was part of the protesters. He could have been, but nobody thinks he is. He could have been part of... Because, that thug who assaulted me, he's got some weird friends, as you know. Perhaps he's part of that group, but I can't see why he'd have gone after NewsNow Yorkshire. It was a sort of... he seemed to have more of a problem with NewsNow Yorkshire than anyone. It wasn't bothered about anyone else by the looks of it. It was just him. It was strange. Anyway, I just think I bring it up because if the guy does it, he's welcome to chat to us. Next time he sees us, you know, it'll save him looking so weird. I mean, of course, if he wants to follow us around, fine. But the thing is, now everyone's seen his face, so, you know, he's not going to be sneaky anymore. But it just was very strange. Like I said, I'm not going to have a go in that regards because you're perfectly entitled to film. I'm not, you know, I'd be a hypocrite fully if I was going to say I have a problem with you filming. But you see, this is my attitude. It's like when you see people in the protest pull their phones out and they walk past in that sort of weird. They always pull that weird expression as they film you or take your pictures if it's to intimidate you. Now the difference between them doing it and me is if somebody comes up to me, I say where the footage is going. I always say NewsNow. I mean, sorry, not NewsNow. I always say, I don't know why I've got in my mind. I always say Street Hawk, and I try and explain the easiest way to find it because I always think it becomes intimidating not to. If I don't, people then worry, and I think that's quite, you know, it's a fair thing to wear because they don't know why I'm filming. Maybe, you know, in their mind they're thinking I'm posting it to some dodgy group or something, which is why, you know, when people in the protests do it, that's when it becomes, they do it in an intimidating way because they know you don't know what they're going to do with that footage. Now, I don't stop people filming. Again, I'd be a hypocrite, but I mean, it becomes slightly ironic when they can take pictures. And it's usually the people who take pictures of you are the ones who moan you about taking pictures of them. They're hypocrites. Or they don't complain about other people. You know, they just view people who are working classes, not the right types. But if some middle class person's there, they never, ever, ever, ever complain. They even pose for them. It's too, you know, you see a lot of this attitude with a lot of these, you know, some of the middle class left wing people. They're bigots purely. They view everyone who's working class as right wing. In fact, I was just watching a clip today. I was leaving the house where these really, I don't know where it was. These really unpleasant people were just screaming down this microphone at people just walking with the Union Jacks saying they were Nazis. How disgusting. I mean, this is how bigoted some of these people are. They're the bigots, they're the fascists. If you don't understand that, you're a bit thick. But yeah, these are really unpleasant, you know. There's this sort of bullying thing some people do. They go, well, they claim to be left-wing as a way to use that as an excuse to be abusive and be fascist and assault others. It's not, it's just obvious that they're not nice people. But again, if you want to be a bigot, I don't mind. I always like, you know, for me it's views. I mean, this is how thick some people are. They, you know, I say it to their face. So, you know, what you're going to do now is make a fool of yourself. And it's just going to generate me views. Do you think I'm threatened? No, because I've experienced it a lot. This sort of weird bigotry from people. But, yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up. I said he's welcome to chat to me if he wants to. NewsNow Yorkshire, explain what his problem is. Rather than just walk past and go, what did he say? Filming in public. Grinning with that weird face of his. Thinking, I don't know what he was thinking, to be honest. It was most odd. Again, it could just be he wanted to set up a YouTube channel and he's piggybacking off other people. I see it quite a bit. Do your own thing, you know. I mean, be your own person. Hang on, someone's coming. I'll leave it there. Hang on.
Filming in public, dickhead. Filming in public.
Well, what's your problem? You're filming in public. Weirdo.
Filming in public, dickhead. Filming in public.
Well, what's your problem? You're filming in public. Weirdo.